Western Spring Television. Ours it is.
It's few days to Christmas, and I'm sure we've all been basking in the euphoria of the season. Many thanks for joining us on the show Spring Delight this beautiful Saturday morning. My name is Olayinka Ali, and
Tunde Idowu is my name. We're glad to be back once again, and it's a pleasure to be here. Today is 17th day in the month of December 2022. Just a week and a day is going to be Christmas. Are the shoes ready?
No, they've not bought it for me. They've not measured my leg with broom.
Remember those days? Daddy, my shoes, I'm still expecting them. Then people wonder, with this your white beard and you're still saying daddy your shoes?
Of course, you still have daddy now.
I got daddy.
Your papa's today.
We're glad to have you join us on Spring Delight on Western Spring Television, channel 190 on Star Times. We're so very excited. It's so good to be here. And at this moment in time, every year, the season is always stellar, and we are super excited to be with you. Tunde Idowu, Yinka Ale, we will definitely do this, and it's a bumper package again for today. We have great guests in the house, and you know how we do it. We'll take a break, and when we come back right after the break, we will definitely reel out some of the major headlines making the rounds from the dailies this morning. Don't go nowhere. Don't change the dial. It's still Spring Delight. Right.
Baba
that is one song that it can never fade. CSC Women, Mama Fasoyi, and I grew up knowing that song.
Sure.
And it still lingers, it's still there. Odun Losokwe, every time of the year at about this time, that song makes a difference. All right, Spring Delight is still what you are viewing on Western Spring Television. Thank you most sincerely for being there. Yinka Ale, we have quite a whole lot of happenings making the rounds from the dailies this morning. Let's just look at some of the headlines we've got. I have the Nation newspaper.
And I have the Punch newspaper with me.
Looking at some of the headlines from the Nation newspaper for today. Confusion, scarcity, trail new Naira notes rollout. And still with that same daily, 2023 attacks on our facilities may compromise election. That's credited to the INEC chairman there. Also, federal government announces dates for Christmas, New Year holidays. In as much as we will not be having any holiday, just to make sure that we serve you the very best. You get to watch the very best from Western Spring Television and sister station Rave 91.7 FM. We will always be here for you. So these are some of the headlines making the rounds from the papers, from the Nation newspaper. And also I have Osun Assembly commences investigation into 407.32 billion Naira state debt. It's something that has been going down here in our dear state of Osun State when the executive governor made mention of the debt profile of Osun State when he was with the Council of Obas in the state. 407.32 billion Naira. That's humongous. Yinka?
Okay, let me read from the Punch. Currency hawkers, partygoers, VIP small pop new notes. 24 hours after the Central Bank of Nigeria directed deposit money banks to start giving the redesigned Naira notes to customers, partygoers, high net worth customers and currency traffickers are mopping up the new notes from the banks, even as the notes have been rationed to the majority of the customers. It was gathered that on Friday, despite the official position of the banks, that the new notes were not available in huge volumes. Some categories of influential customers had infiltrated the banks and were being given new notes far above the limit set by the lenders.
All right, and looking at my story here from the pages of the Nation newspaper, 2023 attacks on our facilities may compromise election. That's credited to the INEC chairman. Let me just take a couple of headline lines from that page of the Nation newspaper. From the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakub yesterday came a warning that the spate of attacks on the organization's facilities in parts of the country, if not checked, could compromise next year's election. Police Inspector General Alkali Baba warned that secessionist groups were working towards disrupting the polls. The various political parties are anxiously expecting INEC's changes on the list of candidates for the election following some recent court rulings. If you're interested in full details of that story, please check out full details from the Nation newspaper for today.
Yeah, on the Punch, APC, PCC defense Yahaya Bello absence from rallies. The All Progressive Congress Presidential Campaign Council has defended the absence of Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello from rallies and town hall meetings of its presidential candidate, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. Bello was appointed as the National Youth Coordinator of the PCC by Tinubu on September 18. Tinubu also expressed strong conviction that Bello would conduct an effective message-driven campaign that could lead them to victory in the 2023 presidential election.
And still staying with the Nation newspaper, Osun Assembly commences investigation into 407.32 billion Naira state debt. And there's a write-out to that story there. It says, Aregbesola not Oyetola responsible for loan, says ex-finance commissioner. The Osun State House of Assembly has announced the plan to commence investigation into the 407.32 billion Naira debt profile of the state earlier declared by Governor Ademola Adeleke. The Nation newspaper recalled that Adeleke, while meeting the Osun Council of Traditional Rulers on Thursday, declared that 407.32 billion Naira debt was incurred by his predecessor, Adegboyega Oyetola, as he vowed to question him over the debt. However, Oyetola refuted the claim through his media aide, Ismail Omikpidon that he never took any loan for 4 years, but the debt was incurred by the administration of Rauf Aregbesola. He challenged Adeleke to publish the date when the loans were assessed. Similarly, the Assembly, through the Chairman, House Committee on Information and Publicity, Kunle Akonde, in a statement yesterday, Friday, expressed concern over the declaration of the debt and announced that investigation had commenced into the loan obtained by the state. Full details is on the pages of the Nation newspaper.
Yeah, lastly, on the Punch, politicians orders behind attacks on INEC offices, says IGP. The Inspector General of Police, Shishman Baba, has accused politicians and other prominent personalities of being behind the recent attacks on the officers of the Independent National Electoral Commission in different parts of the country. The IG, I lost that. Tunde, please bail me out.
All right. Lastly, let's just move on. But have you seen the new Naira note yet?
Yeah, it's not in Osun yet, is it?
Yeah, it's in banks all over Nigeria. But we just the hawkers, all those guys who stay by the roadside to change with party goers, they have it. And looking at what some of the bank people said, the bank staff said that as at 10 a.m., one bank around Abule Egba said as at 10 a.m., the new notes were no more with them in the banks. That it's people have come to collect money. And when you get to the road, I'm being a Friday and looking at what parties over the weekend, you have currency hawkers, VIPs coming to look for new notes, and we don't have them again. I'm itching to see what the new bank note
Of course, we always get it.
We always get it, just the way you always get it with us right here on Spring Delight on Western Spring Television. Right after this break, when we take a musical break, our guest is in the house. And before we bring in our guest, let's tell you a couple of things that's happening and that had happened on December 17th, a couple of years ago. Please stay with us.
Every day I think of you, every night I think of you. Every day I think of you, every night I think of you. Say every day I think of you, every night I think of you.
Well, I'm here, I'm back, I'm taking over. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I'm clean and sober. I be African man, I be exotic lover. Pretty lady, it's nice to know ya, nice to know ya, nice to meet ya. What's your name?
Kilo
What's your name? Say what?
Sherifa.
Love me jeje, love me tender. I don't mess around, I'm not a great pretender. I'm the bad boy from Nigeria, the baddest boy in this area. You blow my mind with the way you walking, you blow my mind with the way you talking. Oh, stop. Love me jeje, love me tender.
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 You're my sugar, my honey, my tender lover.
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 Well, if you say you love me, I'll stay forever.
If you say you love me, I'll stay forever.
Well, if you say you love me, I'll stay forever.
If you say you love me, I'll stay forever.
Love me jeje, love me tender.
Love me jeje, love me tender.
Love me jeje, love me tender.
Love me jeje, love me tender. Every day I think of you. Every night I think of you. Say every day I think of you. Every night I think of you.
My African woman with the pretty face, slow and steady, wins this race. Beautiful girl, beautiful girl, come make me talk. I pick you up around 8 o'clock. Give me good love, you give me ecstasy. I give you good love. love I be your fantasy. Oh, I love the way you walk, I no go lie. I love the way you dance, I no go lie. And me, I share wo, never. Temperature rising, you give me fever. New York, Lagos, even London, anywhere you go, got it going on. Love me, Jeje, love me tender.
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 You're my sugar, my honey, my tender lover.
My sugar, my honey, my tender lover.
You're my sugar, my honey, my tender lover.
You're my sugar, my honey, my tender lover.
Well, if you say you love me, I stay forever.
If you say you love me, I stay forever.
If you say you love me, I stay forever.
But if you say you love me, I stay forever.
Love me, Jeje, love me tender.
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 Love me, Jeje, love me tender. Every day I think of you. Every night I think of you.
Hyole,
Hi.
King Eve. How are you today?
I'm good, I'm fine, I'm alive.
I really feel like she's not giving the right answer to the question. When one asks you, how are you? And you said, you're saying, I'm alive. It's very annoying, seriously. How are you? I'm fine. I feel I'm fine will be the right answer instead of I'm alive. Not that I asked you if you're dead before.
Go and check all these 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, everybody, they are extraordinarily sexually active.
I feel is being unnecessarily hyper when it comes to the issue of sex, because we talk about other topics and he feels so reserved. He really doesn't have anything much to say when it comes to other stuff. But when it's the issue of sex, I believe he's being unnecessarily hyper. That's when I have to pick an issue with him. I mean, it's just being unnecessarily there when we're talking about sex. Just like a child, his mom just got him his favorite chocolate or ice cream, very happy, doing as though if he doesn't have sex for a day, he's going to die.
When it comes to finance, women also support their husbands financially. You need me emotionally. You need me spiritually.
Cassie is an amazing person, but I hate the too much attachment to that gender. I need you spiritually, I need you mentally. I can get these things anywhere with money. If you go by the topic was, who does marriage favors the most? I know how many jobless women they marry every Saturday. They are saying it favors you, Are they vex so?
Growing up, when I was in the world, we've heard of
Who are you now?
Well, MC Too Much said, he likes saying when I was in the world. And the last time I checked, well, it looks a bit innocent, facially, but deep down, he's actually out of this world. We're all in the world now. As long as you're alive, you're in the world. So, MC Too Much, I beg when you talk about that. I don't want to hear that. Next time you talk about like his own.
I think I have a problem with you saying ladies are champion, and that's the problem. Always trying to attach so much importance to that gender.
It's giving insecurity, it's giving low self-esteem, it's giving a blatant display of egoism. Because at the end of the day, a man who is secured in his word, a man who is confident of who he is, will not really be disturbed as to whether women are being referred to as champions or not. I mean, at the end of the day, Joseph's a really great guy, but whether he likes it or not, women are champions.
Here are 5 amazing fun facts I bet you never knew about Christianity.
Number 1, there are over 2.4 billion Christians worldwide.
Amazing fun fact number 2. The Bible is one of the best-selling books of all time, with more than 100 million copies sold every year.
Most Christians believe in heaven and hell.
The Bible is the most translated book in the world, with more than 3,000 languages.
Amazing fun fact number 5. Most Christians throw science out of the window without realizing that most scientists are Christians. Hello, I am Pastor Steve Akinwumi.
And I am Dr. Adeoye Oyewole.
Join us as we highlight and discuss day-to-day issues pertaining to the day-to-day living of every Christian.
Issues in Christendom shows every Sunday on Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on StarTimes. Evelyn Ohiole,
Hi.
King Eve, how are you today?
I'm good, I'm fine, I'm alive.
I really feel like she's not giving the right answer to the question. When one asks you, how are you? And you said, you're saying, I'm alive. It's very annoying, seriously. How are you? I'm fine. I feel I'm fine will be the right answer instead of I'm alive. Not that I asked you if you're dead before.
Go and check all these 14-year-old, 15-year-old, 16-year-old, everybody, they are extraordinarily sexually active.
I feel is being unnecessarily hyper when it comes to the issue of sex, because we talk about other topics and he feels so reserved. He really doesn't have anything much to say when it comes to other stuff. But when it's the issue of sex, I believe he's being unnecessarily hyper. That's when I have to pick an issue with him. I mean, it's just being unnecessarily there when we're talking about sex. Just like a child, his mom just got him his favorite chocolate or ice cream, very happy, doing as though if he doesn't have sex for a day, he's going to die.
When it comes to finance, women also support their husbands financially. You need me emotionally. You need me spiritually.
Francis is an amazing person, but I hate the too much attached to that gender. I need you spiritually, I need you mentally. I can get these things anywhere with money. If you go by the topic was, who does marriage favors the most? I know how many jobless women they marry every Saturday. They are saying it favors you, Are they vague so?
Growing up, when I was in the world, we've heard of
Who are you now?
Well, MC Too Much said, he likes saying when I was in the world. And the last time I checked, well, it looks a bit innocent, facially, but deep down, he's actually out of this world. We're all in the world now. As long as you're alive, you're in the world. So, MC Too Much, I beg when you talk about that. I don't want to hear that. Next time you talk about
He is a modern master of the African talking drum, as much as he is regarded as a voice of the ancestors, speaking in a language of divinity through rhythm. Aside the strait that was famous by his late father, one-time Timi of Ede, he is also a singer, dancer, and poet. He has dedicated himself in earnest to the revival of traditional Yoruba art and culture, teaching and delivering lectures in Africa and abroad, also educating people about this ancient art form. Live in the studio this morning is Prince Adewale Laoye. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Prince.
Good morning, my brother and sister.
Good to have you.
Same here.
The famous Adewale Laoye in the studio.
One thing that took me by surprise is that simplicity.
Thank you.
A whole Prince? Kábíyèsí o.
Kábíyèsí Olódùmarè.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you, and we'd like to thank you most sincerely for taking time out to join us on the program Spring Delight.
Thank you.
Let's look at who is Prince Adewale Laoye, for the benefit of those watching us all around the world.
Prince Adewale Laoye is one of the prince from Medeland. I came from the royal family, Laoye Ajenju royal dynasty in Ede. I started my primary school from Baptist Primary School, Ede.
Okay.
From there to 7th Day Grammar School, Ede. From there to Federal Polytechnic, Ede.
Wow.
Later to Sammy's Mrs. School in Lagos.
Okay.
Just to back it up about what I met at home. You know, my father, we are from royal family, but my father's mother came from very great drummer family in Ede, Ileologun. So my father used to go to that place to learn how to play the drum, how to make it in their childhood. But when we became to Mefede, this thing exploded to international community.
Okay.
We are from royal family. We are not a drummer.
Wow.
But as a king is the custodian of the culture.
Yes.
So this father used this drum to propagate the Yoruba culture worldwide.
Okay.
So I met this thing in the family, is in the blood. I can say it is hereditary.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So I got my first talking drum when I was 3 months old.
Yeah.
Oshumeta.
Uh-oh.
Yes. From my father's mother's side. They gave me as a gift
Okay.
when I was 3 months old. I still have that drum.
You still have the drum?
Yes. But
wow.
Very special to me. I keep it very well.
You don't bring it out?
No.
Wow.
But I'm planning to expose it very soon. Invite to you all.
Okay.
Wow. Let's look at the background of a prince, the drum, and what tallies together. Naturally, in a palace, when you have a palace, you have a king that is always is being greeted most of the time with the drum and the singers and stuff. How do you feel being amongst that royalty and with the drum?
I love that question. When I started, I was so surrounded with a lot of dream killers.
Wow.
You are a prince. You want to go and play. You're supposed to sit down and play for you. But I was just in that did I need this? But I love this. I'm very passionate about my roots.
Okay.
But I thank God my mother support this.
Okay.
If my brother kick against it, I won't do it. But my brother says, don't worry. Go ahead.
Okay.
No problem. So I didn't feel inferior or maybe like, but I just love it. But it's very hard. It's not easy because as a prince, some of my friends said, I don't think you can become a friend. I don't know what's really happened. You're supposed to go, maybe I will introduce to a pastor to pray for me.
Wow.
But now everybody is saying we are proud of you.
Wow.
The story have changed.
Wow.
I saw you. I saw you in the newspaper. I thought, thank God.
You always referred to as a drummer of peace. How did you come about that appellation?
Yes, I love to propagate peace through the drumming.
Okay.
3 years ago, I received one single titled Kilo, Ogunkonibo.
Ogunkonibo.
Vote, not fight.
Okay.
Dìbò rẹ má ṣe jà torí Ogunkonibo yé o. Tọmọlúwàbí rẹ ṣe lọ́jọ́ ìdìbò.
Wow.
Ṣe jẹ́jẹ́. Wá fi ìlú yẹn. Do one that I played it and I tried to interpret it. Dìbò má ṣe jà Ogunkonibo. Dìbò rẹ ní rọwọ́rọsẹ̀ torí Ogunkonibo. Talking drum will play it, my backup will interpret it.
Wow.
So it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Ogunkonibo is the title. So I used to propagate peace through the drumming. So everybody just give me that name. Prince Adewale, drummer of peace, drummer of peace. And I used to organize drumming for peace.
Okay.
Every year. I will fight all the drummers, pastor, imam, Isese people. What your religion says about peace. All the artists, you are a drummer, do something on peace. A poet, something on peace. Musician, give us song on peace. So it's very entertaining, educative, everything.
Yeah, you talked about your maternal uncle, Ajao Anyongbayi, if I'm correct. You said they presented your first talking drum to you at 3 months. Was there a premonition, like a prophecy that you're going to become a drummer?
It's very deep. It's not yet. I won't say anything about that one. Because when I met that man, he said something, but I won't say it now.
Okay.
I know Olodumare will give me chance the time that I will say it openly.
By God's grace.
We look forward to that. And let's put it together. You sing, you drum. How did this inspiration start? How long ago have you been doing this?
I will continue to say it's hereditary. My father was a church organist. We have it at home. We have drum. We have everything. So as a Christian, we do the morning prayer. You know, Christian will sing. Praise and worship, praise songs. All these things. Ajilayo, Asonlayo, all these things, we do it every day since 70s. So it's very easy. Because and at the same time, I joined choir, Sister Lafeba BA, for so many years, since 1982.
Wow.
And I stay a choir in church
up
today.
to now.
But now I'm now in Winner Chapel.
Nice.
Hallelujah. All right. We've seen some of your works, your songs. We've seen how well has it been accepted in the society in which we are today.
In some of my work, especially my song, I've not really feel my people in Nigeria, but outside the country is doing well there.
Wow.
Yes. I have a lot of fans in Canada and in Dublin, Europe, but in Nigeria, it's not much.
Before we call for before we begin to reel out some of the your music here, let's look at how you started. There are varieties of drums, just like what I'm looking at in the studio here. I know this is gong. Is this gong, right?
I know this is yailu.
Gong is not here.
Oh,
this is
we educated this morning.
Okay, please go.
The drum that here is akpala, but everybody used to call it gong. You know, this provider used to say, "Atiromu gong say kono." For those who want to play gong, you need to have very long necks.
Oh, really?
Yes. But to play akpala, you don't need it.
Which one is akpala? Please, so that our viewers can.
This is akpala. We call it akpala. Babawa Aruna Sola derived his band, the name of his band from this name, for this drum.
Oh, okay.
So you played this drum.
Aruna Sola and his akpala music.
Oh, was this the drum he was playing?
It's a drum.
This is the akpala.
No, it's very. You know, his music's very percussive.
Yes.
You use talking drum to proverb and rhythm.
Yes.
So all these instruments is talking drum. And very dominated is talking drum. This akpala. So akpala is not really long, more than the gong. Gong is long.
Oh, really?
And then to play gong, you must have long nails.
So if you don't have long nails, you can't play.
Oh.
So are you saying
when you put it down in here,
really?
So if you don't have long nails, you can't play gong.
You can't play it.
Wow.
You can play it, but
it wouldn't give you
that rhythm that's supposed to give you. You must put that in here and play it.
Okay, yeah. Oh,
but this is akpala. I can play you have nay or you don't have
no, you can't play this.
Do re mi.
Okay.
Mi re do. You know the Yoruba drum can imitate human speech very well.
Yes.
And the Yoruba have this sign we use do, re, mi, ale, mi. What is your name? Correct.
Tunde. Tunde Idowu.
Nice.
So that's the Wogo. So all the Yoruba can talk, can sing, can recite Oriki. One of the Obala drum described talking drum and palace drum as palace receptionist.
Palace
Because they
reception.
use the drums to welcome
the one that will
guests.
say all the guests, and they welcome them, announce them
to the Kabisi.
With the drum.
Idowu go ma wore mara Kabisi have had.
My head is swelling. My head is swelling. My head is swelling.
So talking drum, you can send message, you can make him give you very lovely reading. Danceable one as well.
All right. Prince, and the other one, I think they are different, right?
They are different. No, it's the same thing.
Okay, this
another,
they are, okay, just another.
What is
okay.
this? This big one.
This is Iyailu.
Uh-huh.
All the Yoruba drum they are in sets, and each set have their mother.
Okay.
But they don't have a father.
We have a father is the one that plays.
Are you okay? No.
Baba no Luma Luya.
Baba Luma
Luya. So this is the mother of the set of Dodun set. The collective name for this all this gong akpala gudu gudu is Dodun drum. Dodun drum set. All the drum they are in set. You have Dodun set, Bata set, Agere set, Igbe set, Bembe set, Koso set, Akminti set.
Whoa.
That's all the Yoruba drum. But everybody know all this, only this one. But when you come to Afielu, you know much about all the Yoruba drums. So Dodun drum have this one called Iyalu Dodun with Saworide.
Okay.
No drum called Saworide. Saworide is just an ornament.
Okay.
You use it to decorate the drum. Okay. You can remove it.
Oh, okay. It doesn't have to the rhythm.
Yeah, but not really.
Okay.
But just try to beautify the drum.
Okay.
And the Yoruba, we really...
What's this black thing we're seeing?
We call it Egi. It's the one that holds these straps. Egi. Dodo.
Dodo.
It's the one that holds these straps. When you want to make it talk, you have to regulate the tones of this drum through these straps by squeezing.
Okay. Okay.
By squeezing the strap like this.
Okay.
You change the tones. This is...
Wow.
Mi re do.
Oh my goodness. Culture.
Ninkale. Idowu Ogbo.
Wow. Can this drum play calling in like Seyi Omotayo?
No, Seyi Ijogbon.
Seyi
Thank
Ijogbon.
you. What's that? What did you just...
Seyi Ijogbon.
Ah, good.
Thank you.
Prince. All right. Let's. There's something we saw on the screen whereby my producer just because I saw. Yeah. What kind of drum is this?
This is Bata drum. That's the mother drum of Bata set.
So that black thing on that drum.
Just a wood wax. We use it to differentiate the tones because that one gives us do, re, mi.
Okay.
Do, re, mi. Oh.
Oh, you didn't come with any of that.
I don't come with it.
And one thing I think, yeah. Okay. Let's. That the black spot on that drum is always there.
It's always there.
Always there for a rhythm.
For rhythm.
Oh.
You know the Yoruba drum. That drum must give us 3 tones. Do, re, mi.
Okay.
If you remove that, it give you 2 tones.
Wow.
Really. Really.
So this is even wide.
On that
It seems so wide.
That's the last note, do.
Do.
The other side, you give on mi sharp tone. Mi. Do, re, mi. Do,
wow.
Re.
Prince.
You play it simultaneously.
Yes.
And my father described it and said it through that. It's a Tamara drum.
Samara.
Tamara.
It's Tamara.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because it's very difficult to express itself, not like this one.
Okay.
If you can't understand the speech of this one, it will be difficult for you.
So this one we are seeing on the screen, what's this called?
That's Omele Bata, Odojumeta.
Omele Bata.
Re, mi.
The black.
That sharp tone is the one that didn't have any black.
Okay, that's do. Mi.
Okay.
Do, re, mi.
Music is wide.
Wide. Very, very wide.
Can you be
that language?
It is. It is.
All right, let's take it up from the VTR or the MTR. Let's get to see some of the works of Prince Laoye, who has actually done so well for himself. We'll take that and we'll be back with Prince again.
play for me. I feel like dancing, play for the African rhythm, play for me. In the mood, oh yeah, play for me, play for me, play for me. I feel it in my mind, play for me, the African rhythm, play for me, African rhythm, oh yeah, play for me. Mofecho, play your drum, Kewale, Omo Balaoye, Alasha Filu, oh yeah, play for me. Mofecho, don't you see me ni baji, emi arewa, hey, Mofecho, Ajoke Ade, oh yeah, Mofecho.
Màlúù bàìlèlú ti jẹ́ màlúù tí kò bá lè jó. Màlúù bàìlèlú ti jẹ́ màlúù tí kò bá lè jó. Ṣé bí iṣẹ́ bàbá mi mò ń ṣe, ìlú bàbá mi mò ń lù. Màlúù máa tó dára sí i.
Iṣẹ́ bàbá mi mò ń ṣe, ìlú bàbá mi mò ń lù, èmi mò ń lùlù, ìjọba má lù mí. Àbìdí ẹ̀ ṣe pátákó pátákó, àbìdí ẹ̀ ṣe pátákó pátákó. Níbo ni kò ní mi sí? Ní lọ́hùn, ní lọ́hùn.
I don't know how to describe it. This is beautiful. And if you're just joining us, we'd like to let you know that we have a prince, a future KBC from Edeland in the house this morning. And we'd like to say always, we say most sincerely, thank you to Prince Adewale Laoye for joining us on Spring Delight once again. You've been talking to us about drums and playing it. To learn how to play this, how many years will this take?
If the student can get his drum first, the first step is get your drum.
Okay.
After that, at least for like 7-8 months.
Really?
The person will be a pro.
Yeah.
Wow. That is to know how to play one or can play one.
Just one.
Just one.
While we were watching one of your videos here, they brought the bata drum here. You play, how many drums do you play? Let me just...
I play all the Yoruba drums. I play all the drums.
All the drums?
Bata, dundun, agere, igbi, all the drum I play and I can teach.
Wow.
Nice.
But peradventure, we have any of your kids in this line as well?
They have the idea, but not really because you don't need to force them. They didn't force me.
Oh, okay.
But they are very free to touch it, to take it. They have their own drum. My daughter have his drum. My son have it.
Since you have this video, Edenimi, you did a video, Edenimi. Can you sing?
Edenimi tọkàn Edenimi o tọkàn tara. Torí pé mo jẹ́ ọmọ Ẹdẹ ló mú mi yangàn kiri.
Wow.
Kò síbi tí mo bá dé o. Tẹ́wà Ẹdẹ kò ní fara wọn lára mi. Ẹ̀yẹ wò mí. Ó ń dá sọ sára. Torí ọmọ Ajímọ́.
Iṣẹ́ lóògùn iṣẹ́ wa lẹ́dẹ̀. Gbogbo ọmọ Ẹdẹ kì máa ń sọlẹ̀. Torí iṣẹ́ wa là ń mójútó. Ìwé wa là ń gbájúmọ́. Lọ́mọ Ẹdẹ ṣe ń gòkè láwùjọ.
Ẹdẹ máa fún àrùn
ọmọ Ẹdẹ.
Ìlú olókìkí.
Ilẹ̀ ayé.
Kò síbi tí mo lè wá. Tí mo lè gbàgbé rẹ̀. Àtọ̀rọ̀ mi mímímí. Àtọ̀rọ̀ mi mímímí.
Ìlú Ẹdẹ kò ní túká.
Àtọ̀rọ̀ mi mímímí.
Ìlú Ẹdẹ kò ní bàjẹ́.
Àtọ̀rọ̀ mi mímímí.
Kò ní wọ̀lú Ẹdẹ.
Àtọ̀rọ̀ mi mímímí.
A kò ní rògbò wọlé.
Àtọ̀rọ̀ mi mímímí.
A ò ní rògbò jáde.
Àtọ̀rọ̀ mi mímímí.
Ìlú Ẹdẹ yóò máa tẹ̀síwájú.
Àtọ̀rọ̀ mi mímímí.
Orí mi wú. And I'm not from Ede.
A máa ṣe fún Igede.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Thank you.
All right. Let's look at some of the challenges attached to this kind of business. I will call it business. Are there challenges you faced while growing up doing what you love to do?
A lot, especially as a prince.
Okay.
To accept me as a drummer, it's very difficult.
Exactly, Prince.
I joined one band when some years back. Anytime we go out for performance, when they are distributing the money, they won't give me.
They
say I don't need money.
Wow.
As a friend,
no, I didn't need money. I have my at least my mother is doing well.
Okay.
I have my small business then. I have snow cars. I do popcorn.
Okay.
So, but I want to know much. I want to perfect. I used to follow some musician around, play, not because of money, to develop it. So that time, some of them don't give me money. At the association of the drummers, they don't see me as a drummer.
Because you're a prince.
Because I'm a prince. So, but I didn't mind. I faced what I'm doing. But now everybody they want to know me. They want to see me.
Absolutely.
They want to meet me. So I thank God for that because it's not really easy. And then with people around me that I told you earlier on that didn't say, are you serious? To go this way because I didn't see anybody, only my mother, to share this dream with. Because all of my friends that I want to share it, they don't have interest. So it's difficult. I just faced my life and I thank God today. It's not really easy then because it's not easy. Because I just faced, but the passion I have for it didn't fail me.
Wow.
Yeah. Having represented Nigeria in international competitions, like ACCU project, which was organized by UNESCO, World Music Day in South Africa also, and a host of others. How do you feel?
I was so happy then because to got that invitation from, especially for the UNESCO competition.
Yeah.
They asked me to do a project on Bata drum, the visual and the write-up. I will send it to UNESCO office. Though my position was third then, but I'm so happy. A lot of people have came from Germany, from Japan because of that project.
Wow.
So it was a great opportunity for me.
That's a great one. Before we allow you to leave this morning, I don't know how there's something you want to play. I feel like dancing. So I don't know which of the drums will suit that aspect right now.
I don't have money to spray you.
No, Prince has. Don't worry.
So Prince will drum, he will still spray you.
So
you want me to play and spray money?
And spray money.
No problem.
We're going to get up. We're going to because I can't dance on my seat. So they're gonna see. Let me see how.
Dance, I'll just mind.
Ooh.
Let me take you back to our primary school. All this law.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe you remember this. Alubiri.
I don't know down.
Don't say Alubiri.
Okay.
The response I want from you.
Okay, great.
Great. Oh yeah.
Alubiri. 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 Alubiri.
Agbamurere.
Agbamurere.
Who is praying us now?
Yeah, you see?
Hey.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Most sincerely, we say thank you to Prince Laoye for his time today. This is amazing. And I know before you leave, you take time to do something for WSTV. It's going to be one of those sweepers liners we'll keep using. We are definitely so impressed and honored to have you join us. On behalf of Chairman Dr. Femi Adefila, on behalf of the head of station, Prince Adewale Laoye, a prince, reputable prince from Edeland, right here in Osun State. We sincerely thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We'll take a break right now, and when we are back, let's go look at the medical line. What are the things we need to know? This young man has quite a whole lot in stock. Please stay with us.
Arrested, affected, sound, found. What do we see? What do we say? Flowing from a spring. A fact A to Z. Check and confirm. Ever expounding current events. Traveling down from the business gist to the globally arising happenings, to the sports news, to the bittersweet infos. Guided transmission, even diffusion, vast and fast, detailed facts are fled. Within seconds, nuggets of words that flew across borders are fired. Stories short and long, wrapped in bundles of words, broken and dissected as it is, except misheard. This is the news as it is.
Bẹ́gùn bá jáde, mọ̀rìnwó la kọ́kọ́ rí, ọwọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ ní síwájú ìjó, ẹsẹ̀ katakata ní síwájú rìn, bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti ń gbúròó wa, a tún ti dé náà nù, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò Owambe Unlimited, pẹ̀lú èmi ọmọ yín, olólùfẹ́ yín, ọ̀rẹ́ yín, Suliat tẹ́túmọ̀ sí Morenikeji, ẹ lè pè mí ní Susu, tó bá wẹ lómi, a sọ pé ìyálòde àríyá, gbogbo orúkọ tẹ́ ẹ bá pè mí, kò sí èyí tí mi ò ní jẹ yín, ẹ farabalẹ̀, kẹ́ ẹ máa gbádùn ètò Owambe Unlimited lórí ìkànnì Western Spring Television ní ìkànnì 190, ibẹ̀ ni Owambe Unlimited ń bọ̀ wá, ẹ fàkùrẹ̀ tẹ̀dí, kẹ́ ẹ máa gbádùn ètò àríyá wa.
Wọ́n sọ fún yín pé ẹ máa wo Owambe Unlimited lórí Western Spring Television.
is a culture on its own. It has its own language, its own people, with their own way of life. The world of sports is never void of actions, stories, dramas, and scandals. I guess you need a sports show that can walk the walk and talk the talk.
On this show, we answer all your sporting questions. The whens, the whys, the wheres, and even the what ifs. Sports Spring is that show that will give you that new lease of life you've been looking for in sport journalism. Join me, Joseph Atewe,
And your sports Amazon, Nengi Ernest.
on this station, Western Spring Television, channel 190, only on Star Times.
Let's talk sports. Let's speak the most universal language of the world.
Èdè Yorùbá jẹ́ ọ̀kan lára àwọn èdè tí wọ́n ń sọ ní agbègbè Niger Congo. Èdè Yorùbá gbajúgbajà ní àwọn orílẹ̀-èdè tó ń bẹ ní ẹkùn ìwọ̀ oòrùn ilẹ̀ adúláwọ̀. Ó kéré tán, àwọn ènìyàn bíi mílíọ̀nù 14 ló ń sọ èdè Yorùbá lónìí. Ètò akọ́mọlédè ló ń dé sójú ìwòran yín láti iléeṣẹ́ móhùnmáwòrán WSTV ìkànnì 150 channel 190 lórí Star Times. Folúṣọ́ Ayaolúwagbémiga, ìyá ìjọ pèdèpèdè, ìyá akọ́mọlédè ló kọ tèmi. Yorùbá dùn púpọ̀, Yorùbá ò lè kú, Yorùbá ò lè parun. Tiwa làṣà, tiwa lèdè, tiwa nìṣẹ̀ṣe, akọ́mọlédè.
On the final wrap of Spring Delight this beautiful Saturday morning. And it's always a nice time having great personalities on this program. I enjoyed every bit of Prince Laoye, honestly, and I can assure you I will do the needful. I must learn how to drum.
You want the side also.
All right, definitely. Let's look at another segment and another personality, great personality we have with us in the house this morning again. I said it to him, this is the first time I'm hearing different profession, and he is superbly qualified. He is a medical doctor and also he is a lawyer. It's a pleasure to have Dr. Dale Ogunbajo in the house with us this morning. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Wow.
Pleasure.
A lawyer, a doctor. You can take it up from there.
I understand you're a medical doctor.
Yes.
And also a lawyer.
Yes.
What are you trying to achieve, and how do you intend to balance both professions?
Well, I came to realize that
medicine gives us the skills to, under God's grace, keep people alive. For the space between the time through medicine we are born and we die, that space is covered by how to live. So medicine keeps alive. Law teaches the skills for living. I mean, for instance, I'm happy to be here this morning.
A pleasure.
But if there were a law that says on Saturdays nobody should come out till 7 p.m., none of us will be here.
Absolutely.
And because of that, it's a bit painful when you don't understand what makes you function. And when things then go wrong, you get really miffed and confused. Interestingly, there's a maxim that almost all of us know, which says, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Right? You can't come to court and say, I didn't know. It's a well-known maxim. Now, if there's something like that, and yet you that could be sanctioned by it, you don't know it, we are running a rather big risk. So that's, and then personally, when I became 50, I started thinking, what next? I've enjoyed whatever privileges God has given me, practicing medicine, meeting people, helping people, and a few other things. So, incidentally, by the time I became 50, I found myself in a very sober mood. I wasn't excited about having a party or anything. I was just in a mood where I was asking questions, what next? And so my wife, sweet woman, since I told her I didn't want a party, she said, all right, for my birthday present, she will take me on a trip. So we traveled to Europe. I'm going to sound a bit religious, so forgive me.
No problem. Go ahead.
So our first port of call was Paris.
Okay.
And I, of course, because of my mood on the journey, I was talking, but I was pensive. Kept thinking, what next, man? I'll be 50 tomorrow. So we're going in, my birthday was February 22nd. We're going in a day before. And then suddenly, I at the point where the pilot announced that now we're preparing to land at Charles de Gaulle, just as that was going on, I heard something inside me say, go and read law.
Whoa.
So I turned to my wife and I said, I'm feeling something strange. She said, what is it? And I'm sensing that I should go and read law. I said, law? Okay, when we get done, we'll talk about it. So essentially, that was the beginning.
Wow.
Of course, I think that sometimes inspirations come from questions that we have in our minds. And so those inspirations may sometimes be answers to questions bothering us that we didn't even know how to vocalize. There are quite a few things that I hadn't been happy about with my country. Even my profession, medicine. Wow. I didn't just have answers to something. So when that impulse, let me try to sound more regular, impulse came, I said, okay, let me pursue it. Maybe that way I can find some answers to questions that bother me. So here I am.
Interesting.
Wow. Honestly, that's quite a whole lot. But what area of law are you specialized in?
Well, like I said, I just finished. So I'm a graduate of law. I'm yet to go to the law school.
Okay.
Almost naturally, there would be a tilt for me towards medical law.
Medical law?
Is there something like medical law?
Abroad there is.
Oh, and it's you're touching it alongside your medical profession as well.
Yes. However, in other climes, you can have a master's in medical law without being a medical doctor.
Whoa.
I mean, any lawyer can take an interest in any aspect of law and face it. But I said naturally because it's my turf.
Okay.
And you know how things are. It's like if you're a musician and then you stop and become a lawyer, it's likely entertainers will come to you to say, listen, there's an issue. What do you think? Because it's been part of things within your purview. So it's likely I'll tilt towards that.
So what is medical law about?
Medical law is about ensuring that the standards of medical practice are adhered to by the ethics that guide the profession, and that the rights of patients, people, are protected and respected by the medical society. And then issues of ethics, what is right to be done to you, what is right, issues of how you are treated, sometimes issues around research, all right, ethical issues around research. So
but do you think medical law is practiced in Nigeria? Has it been practiced?
Very weakly, and that is one of the reasons why I think our health system is very poor. With the privilege of being a doctor, I know that medicine is a fantastic profession. And it's so near divinely sacred that the rules are set, the standards are set. We're not exactly allowed to just decide to think out of the box and treat anybody anyhow the way you feel. No, there are rules, there are patterns, there are clear codes. But human beings will always find it easy to disregard rules, standards, codes when there are no sanctions. And when there are no sanctions and we're not held to the standards and the rules, then the standards begin to diminish gradually and we begin to lose them. And the more painful part in medicine is that if you do not hold up standards and we lose standards, you could also be a victim. Because somebody is not going to suddenly begin to recall all those standards or try to adhere to the right things to do just because you are the one there, right? And when those standards are not adhered to, your life could be lost. That your child could be lost. That your wife could be lost. So I say we practice medical law very weakly in Nigeria because, I mean, journalists are usually the closest ears to the ground. So if you don't know, it means that we're not doing it well.
Of course.
When we're doing it well, then you would know, you would hear it.
Sure.
And for me, we practice medicine because of our people, not because of prestige. I mean, I don't know of anyone, but I certainly didn't go into medical school because I wanted to be prestigiously regarded as a doctor. The idea was I want to help people. That's what propelled us. That's what made some of our parents say, look, this is what you should do. You want to see people feel better, get happy, right? But we all know that that doesn't always happen.
Yeah, very rare.
That doesn't always happen. And it's not because we don't know what to do in those places where those things don't happen. It's usually because nobody's holding you up to standard.
Exactly.
Yeah, thank you for that aspect of standard. As a medical practitioner, most of the time, top politicians, presidents, and governors, what have you, they tend to use foreign hospitals. And Nigerians, we begin to raise eyebrow at this moment. That what would you attribute to the issue of the institution, the health institution here in Nigeria?
You see, every industry in Nigeria has been affected by the bug of irresponsibility and corruption. We're just being irresponsible.
Wow.
Medical training in Nigeria is tough, fantastic, tough. Well, the way I knew it. So tough that when I had the opportunity to take a patient abroad some years ago, and I was looking at their medical students, and the fact that they were asking them questions and they could open their books and stuff to answer questions. I had to ask their prof that, so what are you examining them on if they can open books and answer you? And he said, well, I mean, it's good enough that they know what to look out for. But in Nigeria, we don't do that. So I'm trying to tell you that if you mold a medical doctor here, he will stand up to anyone, anywhere in the world, which is why when we live here and go out there, we do well. However, the big difference between here and there, in my opinion, is that the law is standing next to you. Every patient is a potential litigant.
Yeah.
So as you see each patient, you respect that patient, and you need to walk by the rules, because anything goes wrong, he's ready to complain and sue you.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. So our colleagues, doctors who are abroad, work under pressure because the standards are facing you and you dare not breach it. Here, we work with laxity. And because our leaders know that, and that is misinterpreted to mean that doctors here are not good enough. That's not true. Or that, oh, we don't have enough equipment. Yeah, but sometimes it's not about the equipment, it's about the attitude. Most times about the attitude. Because we know the standards are there, we know what to do. And they don't want to, uphold the standards, so they just run to where the standards are upheld. All right? The same doctors, I'll tell you a story that short one. A man in Kano, rich man, had a urology problem. And they told him that they want him to see, especially some professor of urology. Fantastic man. And he said, no, he's not ready to wait. That he should give me a referral to, I think, the German specialist hospital in Saudi Arabia. Rich man. They said, this prof just went to see some patients in Jigawa in 2 days. He'll be set. Man said, no. Give me a referral. So they wrote me a referral, and they flew out to the specialist hospital in Saudi. And when he got there, they told him they'll need to bring in a specialist. That will take about a week. But they'll run some tests while he waited. True story. And he was there in the hospital, and they ran some tests. And in a week, they brought in the specialist. It was the same professor you would have seen in Kano.
Whoa.
True story.
Whoa. We've got competent hands.
He's their specialist over there. They fly him from here.
Nigeria. So he could have just accessed the man.
Yes, but he didn't believe. There's a disregard for the medical profession, the skills that we have. Because standards are so ruined, we're not seeing properly anymore.
So how will I put it?
How do we have a healthy health system
in Nigeria,
policy in Nigeria?
For every sector in Nigeria
needs one.
The way to make things better is by our people to stop grumbling and start complaining.
Stop grumbling and
when things go wrong, What are you prepared to do about it? We just grumble.
So you think when they complain,
you take a formal step.
But there are people that has been complaining and nothing has been done.
People say that. Usually they don't complain. And when they do take a formal step and nothing has been done, you take another formal step. See, nothing changes except we change it. That's the truth. There's no magic. Nothing changes except we change it. We must help ourselves as patients to learn to ask questions. And when they arrogantly don't answer you, you write and demand for it. There are so many young people out here who are doing various civil society work and stuff. What does it cost to put people's complaints about a health practice that you are not happy about in social media and let's start dragging them? At least somebody will explain to you.
Yes.
You may have even gotten it wrong, but at least you take a formal step.
Yeah.
There's no magic. No government can do it for you. We must start it from amongst us, then government will take it up. I'm sorry, government in Africa has not lived up to par. But how many are they compared to so many of us? We can't let them keep destroying our lives. We can't sit down and say because the governor is not doing something right, the minister is not doing something right, then also we will not do something. Let's start, let's try, let's do something. All right? Look, government did something beautiful for us as Nigerians by putting together something they call the Patients' Bill of Rights. Yeah, it was launched about 4 or 5 years ago now. Media houses should make that cheaply available on their stations. People just see that these are your rights. Let's know them first, and then we can begin to demand for them. Nobody has a right to treat you shabbily when you go to hospital. Nobody has a right to just reveal your confidential information. Nobody has a right to just tell you we can't treat you here, move you without planning for you exactly where you should move on to.
Sure.
Nobody has a right to write prescriptions that you can't see, and then you explain, ask, sir, what is this? And he says, it don't matter, just go to the pharmacy. Are you a dog? You're a human being.
Ask.
They are duty bound to explain to you.
But I think that works most in the private sector, like the private medical. I, for one, use the general hospital, and the way they treat us at the general hospital is quite different from the way they treat people at the private hospital. But because of my profession, they accord me that respect.
You know why that happens? Because at the private hospital, there's somebody that can hold them accountable. The medical practitioner, the medical director, is running a business. Can't mess up his business for you. But government hospital, the person who's supposed to hold them accountable is looking away. So you will compel it. In fact, in other climes, respect is better for you in the public hospital. Why? Because it's your money they use to pay everybody's money. It's not government that will do it for us. We have to do it by ourselves. I mean, when you can imagine what will happen if we consistently complain about a health practitioner, whether nurse, doctor, lab scientist, whatever, and they don't take action, and we decide to, 4 or 5 of us, stand in front of his office and do a Facebook Live on that person, that Dr. Dale Ogunbayo, instead of coming to office at 8 o'clock, he's arriving at 11. And he will spend the next 45 minutes gisting with other people before he starts attending to us. You do it first and see the reaction. Because Dr. Dale Ogunbayo has a wife, has children.
The responsibilities.
People are going to call the wife and say, now say husband be. Look, let some people focus on government, yes. But let some of us also focus on our systems. You must learn to be prepared to formally complain. Do something. Stop grumbling. You say, and then go to your house, and that's
it. Remains. I get that.
Every human being has a divine right to life. Divine. We should learn to respect that by questioning the death of every man. That's our duty. When a man dies, when a woman dies, when a child dies in hospital, it's not enough to say God brought and God took. We respect that, but he gave us a brain because he expects us to make our environment better by asking, why did my mother die? Why did my father die? Why did this young man die? I'm not saying nothing may have gone wrong, but you need to know. What this does is, once all professionals, not just medicine, everywhere, once they know the people who ask questions, they will be better prepared to follow standards. If you have a child at home, I have an aunt who doesn't ask questions. The child will go out and come in anytime and do whatever he likes.
Exactly.
But I have, even if it's a small uncle who keeps asking, where are you going? Where are you coming from? You at least need to prepare. Those things are painful for me. And it's not in the health sector. Like I told some of my friends, I've been asking myself, why would a child sign or enter a school where he's supposed to spend 4 years and he's reading and passing his exams? And suddenly government and ASU or NASU or whatever decide to quarrel and go on strike. And instead of 4 years, this child spends 9 years, 8 years. Who compensates him? Nobody. That's not the law.
No, dude.
Once your right is breached, you are not happy. Something that belongs to you has been taken. Your life has been taken. 5 years has been taken away. 3 years has been taken away from what you have used to build your career. Somebody can challenge it.
Dr. Dali, before we call it a day on the program today, let's look at these two very heavy, courses. I'm trying to put the right word. Doing the medical line and the legal line as well. How do you intend cope it? Because I know how it is at times when you get calls, doctor, there's an emergency, you have to move. Probably some of your clients, when you begin to, when you are after a call to bar and you are in there totally. How do you intend? You're a young man, I know that, but how do you intend to balance these two platforms?
Well, truth is, where there's a will, there's a way.
Absolutely.
And usually people find time for what they love.
Passion.
That's the truth.
Wow. And the speed at which your colleagues, the doctors, they are doing this Jackpot syndrome and doing very well. Yeah, had the opportunity seeing them in the UK, in the US, Canada, virtually everywhere around the world, and our doctors are doing very well. And is an aspect whereby our health policy, our health institution is faulty, governance is faulty, and that's why we have all these movements. How can this be checked, mate? How can this be corrected? What does government need to do? We're losing good hands, for heaven's sake.
It's easy for people to think that doctors are leaving just because they want more money. Not always like that.
Not always like that.
Again, standard. When you know the right thing to do and you're losing patience because the right things are not being done, or so some of your colleagues are losing patience and nothing is happening, you get home, you can't sleep, you're wondering. If we tackle some of our basic problems, insecurity is a major issue where so many people are living. But you see, people pay too much emphasis to money in Africa.
Many.
But you see, if you let people be able
Put too much emphasis to money in Africa
and be happy at it.
But you see, if you
By simply
put too much emphasis to money in Africa
and be happy at it, increase productivity.
But you see, if you
by simply putting emphasis
before where
happy and surge's productivity. But see, if you
consultant
by simply putting emphasis before where
we always find an excuse to dodge every surgery. There's consultant surgery.
Emphasis
besides expecting that maybe you was doing things and you I've seen him turn down your lines for operations because else is still on his lips. And I'm not joking. I worked on them.
In Nigeria,
yeah. And what function do you do? Not anything else. And this is where I'm driving at. Now he does that. And there were some other surgeons in that hospital. In fact, I had bad case Monday. I was a younger person. And he was the one to give me final instructions on a woman that was quite bad. And he kept dilly-dallying. I needed him to come. He wouldn't come. Then the ambulance called him to dilly. I saw these other consultant surgeons who had been working all day, having a theater from morning at about 6 p.m. He was crawling to be able to enter into his car. But out of desperation, I went to his and said, "Sir, please, I need help." I looked at him and said, "But look, you know this is not fair. You know I won't do this for sure, but I'm tired." I said, "I know, sir, but I don't want to lose this one." He struggled and came back. I taught me what to do, and we could save the life of that woman. But he struggled and came back. At the end of the month, the irresponsible consultant and irresponsible consultant will end the same thing. Is that fair? That's not how to run a successful system. We're just being irresponsible. Why should we earn the same thing just because we're at the same grade level and step? One man almost kills himself saving lives. He's not spending enough time with his family because he's saving lives. He's not spending enough time for himself. He's saving lives. And then we have another one who is not doing so much, just wears the same toga. And then you pay them the same way. And you want to run an efficient system. It's irresponsible. Wow. I don't know. You really open our eyes. I've just got calls that we're out of time. But I can assure you, Doctor, this will not be, because you've spoken and there's still quite a whole lot we need to talk. Well, we would sincerely want to thank you for this moment you've been able to do for us today, and we wish you the very best. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Doctor, lawyer. So very soon, I wouldn't know, maybe I should, Doctor,
just direct.
It's been a wonderful moment on the program again this beautiful Saturday morning. I wouldn't know, maybe I should, God willing, we'll be back again next week Saturday on another scintillating edition of that program. I want to thank all our guests, Prince Lawi Adewale, who was here earlier, and also Dr. Dale Bayo as well. Sunday Ido is my guest.
Olain Kale is my name. Have a awesome weekend.